afternoon, everybody. It is Tuesday at 2, also known as the time that most of your clients, if you submitted a candidate, will view them. I am your host or co-host, Rob Mann. With me, I have the slightly poorly lighted, but on vacation, Tim Walker, being a champ over there. Tim, what's up, brother?
Good. I think
It
you
is the
can
best
confirm
you've
that
been. Yeah. So.
I look better than I did this morning. Yeah.
Your commitment to showing up at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday is commendable, my friend. That's all. Oh, now the
It's
lighting's
fine.
better. Something's going on. It's interesting.
I
All right.
need to move back a little bit. Kids are watching a movie, so I've got some time to talk staffing world.
Screen crack in full effect. And with us, we have our fearless leader, Mr. Andy Moss.
Hey guys,
special guest.
Glad to be
special
on.
guest this
I'm
week.
glad you finally invited me to be on. I really appreciate this. I was missing all the fun.
You were, it's just mostly Tim and I just bantering about something we made up. So anyway, we're not going to make up anything this week. We are going to talk about Staffing World 2023 in Charlotte, the Motor City. Coach K was a keynote. Paul Zigapoulos, which I probably mispronounced incorrectly, an IBM AI guy, was the other keynote on the second day. Jody Biley became the chair of the board for ASA.
Awesome.
And there's finally gender parity on the ASA board between Joni and then 4 other lady leaders, and then 4 gents as well. Super cool. Excited about that. Any other quick bullet point takeaways, Andy, that you have before we get into some meat and potatoes here?
Great location. I think Charlotte, hit a home run with it. So that was good. Plus it's drivable for me.
And therefore I got to drive with you because I was in Knoxville. I'm wearing this great One Knox hat, which is going to be the new MLS club, right? Is it MLS or what is it?
I don't think so.
It's smaller, right?
It's
a smaller one.
Semi-pro, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, it's a good hat. So I appreciate them having some style in
cool
Knoxville. All right. So Andy and I attended, and therefore Tim is going to ask us questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn something here too, because I haven't had too much of a chance to talk to you guys about ASA and what y'all saw there. So maybe we'll back up a little bit, Rob, and start with one of the reasons why you were down there, which was your other podcast and the Thrive event. So could you talk a little bit about maybe what that was all about, your takeaways there, and what you and LJ were up to?
Yeah. So my other co-host with the most, Miss Lauren Jones, aka the most famous woman in staffing. Please don't show up to an event with her because you'll never get her time if you need it. But no, I showed up because we were going to help with Thrive, which is ASA's women's focused group. So you have Thrive Virtual, which happens earlier in the year, and then you have Thrive Live, which happens 2 days before Staffing World, or the day before, and then the day that they have the welcome reception. Really, really great programming. Jess Ekstrom came back by special demand and did a public speaking course for this room of 250 leaders. Hannah Pryor showed up, she was one of the top billers at, I think it was K-Force for a long time. Now is a private coach and a writer and a speaker. And she came in and absolutely, I love this mindset, right? Like, it's going to be awkward the first time you do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So just embrace the awkward. So she has a fantastic book that just came out. I don't remember the exact title, but Awkward's in the title. But if you want to check it out, we'll put the notes in the comments. So loved Hannah. And then my favorite part, well, I have a few favorite parts. One was Reshma Sajani, who is the founder of Girls Who Code, who also wrote a book, which I have over here, called Brave, Not Perfect. It's kind of the same mindset of Hannah, but I think it's a little bit more specifically tied towards women because, we have 3 dudes on this call, but none of us were told to be perfect or super polite all the time. But a lot of little girls in the country are, and they try to go for perfection all the time, which is why women don't apply to jobs unless they meet 100% of the criteria. Whereas, I'm sure the 3 of us would apply if we met 40% of the criteria. And so that's the importance of brave, not perfect, right? So it was cool to see her, someone who's taught 600,000 women and young, teenage to young girls code, and has now founded another foundation to help with the childcare issue that we have in the U.S., right? Women can work if there's better childcare. and there's better options, right? Like the easiest thing to say is like, why the hell do kids go to school from 7:30 to 2:30 or 8 to 3:30 when the workday is 9 to 5? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Women can work if there was better options, or if you had cool bosses like Andy who said, go pick up your kids at after school and then come back and work when you're ready. So either one works, but there are definitely better ways to empower women and get them back in the workforce. It's definitely a missing piece. We have lots of open jobs in this country and lots of people who could work even part-time hours. So it was really great to see the ladies come out in strength. I think we like doubled the amount of women who attended Thrive Live, and I'm just lucky. Not many men get invited to attend the full thing, so I kind of like sneak in there because I create content. But it's really just me fanboying over all the cool women in there. So anyway,
yeah, you're a big
Cool.
fanboy.
Yeah. Anyway, super cool.
Let's maybe briefly touch, Andy, on. I know you've got some notes here on Coach K and some of the keynotes. What did you sort of take away there, maybe specific to the staffing industry, on that was sort of motivational or pumped you up?
Coach K was amazing. You see why kids fall in love with him. I mean, he is a very engaging speaker, but man, just what like he said, a 70-year-old can get 18-year-olds to do certain things, and some of the things that I take away is, he called it the leadership 3A's, and I totally agree with this. Agility, adaptability, and accountability. And it's amazing how many organizations probably are one of those three, maybe two of the three, but the top performing companies have those as their marching orders. But I love that. He's big on character. He won't recruit kids unless they have character. He'll watch them, see how they're acting around their parents after the game, their teammates, and that's one of their cornerstones. That they recruit great kids, and I take that away with our companies. Like, if you hire great people that have great character, the results will happen. It's just you can't. You develop someone with bad character to good character. It's just in their blood.
Yeah, you can't fake that.
No.
It's like you can't coach speed, or you can't teach speed, right?
Yeah. Let's in the interest of time, let's move on. I want to talk at the end a little bit about some of the tech and what seemed emerging there. But let's talk now about some of the breakout sessions, the roundtables, all that kind of stuff. What maybe, Rob, I'll throw it over to you. What are maybe one of your two takeaways from
maybe two highlights. Well, I think so I really think that the panel with Keith Waitman, Leslie Kardec of Clearly Rated, Keith Smith Bullhorn, Mark Augustelli of the Davis Companies, and then Lauren, my co-host. I thought it was interesting because Mark Augustelli basically put his entire playbook on screen for this standing room only breakout session on the first day of actual Staffing World. And he said, here's the QR code, go look at it. It's all about executing it, right? You could have as many playbooks as you want, but you got to execute them. And then there was a lot of really good conversations in that one about what it means to sell and to, you have a methodology so you can get the reps. And I think was a big one, right? Like, you don't have to be a super stringent stickler to your playbook, but if you have a playbook that you're following, you can get the reps in and people are going to get the activity, which is going to lead to results. I think that it was funny. We didn't talk about phone calls, but on a show of hands, who answers a random number on their phone nowadays? And of the three of us, who's answered a random number?
Not me.
That's what the Google screening's for now.
Yeah, and it's crazy, but I think you still have to call the business lines, right? But there's still got to be a more quality way of getting attention and having having the ability to grab that attention and get conversations, and then teach people what you solve. And what it kind of ties into one of our good friends, Jeff Policio, who runs Allied Insights. He always says you should productize or brand the way that you sell. And when I joined the staffing industry, I did with Weatherby Healthcare, which is part of CHG. If you haven't heard of either of those, they're very large physician staffing groups. And CHG's whole thing is putting people first. And then Weatherby, as its own sub brand of that, has a red ribbon service. So like when you're calling, there's where if you're selling, you're talking about red ribbon service for your clients and your candidates, and it's all over the website. So if someone came in as a lead and they were like, "What the hell is this red ribbon service you're talking about?" Or like, if you Lankies is just do it, right? That's kind of their brand slogan. But like you could brand the way that you provide services is the way that they teach it, and that way people are asking about that. And I think it was like one of the examples when I was at a round table was like, the staffing juice, right? Like, what is this company? They were like staffing. I can't remember the name of the company, but they just kept branding the way that they do things. So all this stuff is really around. All this stuff has existed, right? We're not like we're focused on sales. We're focused on client. I guess getting jobs, getting new clients, but nothing's new. We just haven't paid attention to it. We didn't have to. We were order takers for so long, and now it's just so funny that the people who paid attention to it before are fine, but everybody else is like, we need jobs. And just go back through everyone's content for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
we've been talking about it, and that was all I heard on a lot of the sales panels.
Andy, it seemed based on your notes that a lot of maybe the things that jumped out to you were technology related.
Andy was like
came away
super deep in AI. Anytime the word AI came up, Andy's neck like disassociate from his body.
There was quite a bit of discussion around AI. The keynote was okay. I don't think it was kind of a cursory
perspective. It wasn't, but again, not revolutionary. It's been around.
No, it's but I think there was a lot of interest in AI and just what companies are doing with it. Some companies are, feet first, let's go. Others are a little cautious. How's this going to fit in, and being very deliberate in what they're looking for with AI. AI is amazing. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It will change our industry, I think, for the better. I don't think it's going to replace us at all. I think everybody agrees there. You're still going to have the human touch, but the things an AI can do for, selling, recruiting, operations is going to be flat out earth shattering. And to see all these companies that are out there working with it is great.
Yeah, what you guys don't know is that Tim is actually an AI avatar because he's actually on vacation.
I think I would look a little bit better if I were. Yeah.
But there was a lot of cool tech. I was actually shocked, just how many, new ATSs are popping up.
There's a lot.
Yeah. And that was, and I'll go out on a limb here and say if the big boys don't start taking care of their customers, it's gonna be problematic. And I heard that to a lot of other owners that I was talking to, how disappointed they are in their service, and that's why they're looking. And so if you're part of a bigger ATS, customer service.
Well, I'm gonna pretend like I have no idea what you're talking about. Just let that one kind of slide by us. So
maybe let me direct this a little bit. Do you think that there was a bigger emphasis on, let's say, platforms than individual, tech that solves
there was
problems,
there's a lot of individual tech still.
Is there anything that you saw that was sort of in a new that was sort of one of something that we'd never seen before?
There was the recruiter AI, which was free to use tool.
Yeah.
Free to use tools always make me nervous because then I know I'm the product and I hate being the product. So, and then I don't really think. I walked around a lot, and I didn't really stop at every booth, but there was more. I guess there was a bunch of onboarding stuff too. Still, there was really no one. There was no one solving. Well, there was one. There's this one group that has the sales books, right? I can't remember the name of it. It's the Wilson Learning Group. So they gave me one of their. I got to read this thing. So I thought that was cool. But I didn't really see anything like revolutionary for sales. You know, you have, you're not seeing like things like Gong or Outreach showing up that are going to help staffing sales dramatically. You know, you're kind of still on Sense or Bullhorn Automation. Surprisingly, Workman wasn't there. They weren't exhibiting. I thought that was interesting. So
I liked. I stopped at Revelio Labs. And they're kind of a competitor to Zoom Info, and that stuff was sharp. You know,
no Lightcast. I think they were more of a Lightcast competitor.
Yeah, it's but I like them. There was Protoscore was another one that I had. You know, they had some good stuff.
That was the
one of the companies brought in
interviewing one.
What was that?
Protoscore was video interviewing.
I don't know. It dealt with you know, tracking your, you know, I'm not tracking your recruiters, but the productivity of your staff.
I see it. Employee productivity monitoring software.
And it was really slick how they do that. And one company brought in puppies for everybody to play with. It was really intriguing what people did to get people in the booth.
Yeah, there's puppies every staffing world. It's like our. I almost adopted the little brown and white one, but I would not. I would have been in trouble. So.
Let's wrap up here. We're at about 17 minutes. So what I want from each of you is a 1-sentence takeaway, where you think, you know, based on everything that you've seen, you know, what you think or where you think the industry is going to go in the next year. Let's look short term here. What was the feeling in the room, I guess, Andy?
I think the feeling that everybody's a little cautious about the economy. I still think a lot of companies are playing wait and see. And there's a lot of cool tech that's out there that I think, you know, if we had a little bit of some freeway with some economic headwinds, I think people would make a lot of moves.
All right. I think if we put some commas in there, that was 1 sentence.
Close enough.
And Rob?
Maybe a semicolon. I agree with Andy, by the way. I heard lots of no budgets at the moment. And then I would say that you have to be training this year your staff on how to use AI. It is, and like, it doesn't mean that they have to use it all day, every day, and they don't have to do anything. But you do have to train your staff to use AI this year. And every one of our jobs will not be replaced by AI, but it will be replaced by someone who uses AI for sure. And that's not my quote. Paul said that, who was the AI keynote, and Lauren has been saying that to me for the last like 3 months. So you got to get your team trained up as soon as possible if you haven't thought about it yet. And there's lots of resources. So DM me if you want. Or if you DM Tim or Andy, they'll just ask me and I'll give them the same answer. So it works either way.
I'll reply. I'm going to reply and pretend that it was my answer. Take credit.
I always appreciate it. Listen, I don't need credit.
Yeah.
Just train your team.
All right, guys. Seems like it was a good time. Where's next year? Did they announce it?
Nashville. Vegas.
Sweet. Yeah, it was a good time last time it was in Nashville.
So Andy just has to drive 2 hours the other way instead of 3 hours one way.
I love these East Coast ASAs.
Yeah, great.
We're gonna all go to Santa's, which is the double wide trailer where they do karaoke in Nashville. It is the greatest bar. It is the greatest dive bar of all time. So I'll see you there.
Guys.
Maybe you gotta come this time. I gotta see you do karaoke.
I'll be there.
All right.
Take care this week. We'll see you next Tuesday. Okay. Bye, everybody.